sorry, I was staring at the screen and completely in another world. So, we are back today, a little later than I intended, but at 2 o'clock I was hit with an overwhelming urge of sleepiness. So, I had a quick lie down to try and let it pass. It did not, but that's okay. We can cope with that. We can cope. Right. So. Anyway, here you go. from you. How are you? Yeah, it's rained here. Not enough, but it rained just enough that, you know, kind of stuff's a bit wet, but it's not really done any good. Yeah. So, how are you? What have you been up to? Fair enough. How are you getting on with it? Good. My biggest problem with all of these survival-y type of games good for you. There's something about survival games that I want to enjoy them, but frankly, I never really have. And I've never been able to put my finger on why not. It's just not worked out for me. It's not that I hate them. I just don't really enjoy them. I can't. After a couple of days or so, I'm kind of like, and I find something else to do. That could be it, but. And I think some of it is because I craft in real life. She says, realising she hasn't done enough on all of this. I think some of it is because I craft. It's not that there's too many buttons. I think it's the, hey, you wake up naked on the beach. Ooh, pick up a stick. You may fight this minor crustacean. Well done. Or you have gained. Yeah, and I think that's kind of part of it. Is much as I like MMOs in the more fantasy generation, so I run round as an ogre and I, fight a handful of mobs. I collect shit, I sell shit, I buy stuff. I kind of enjoy those, but there are many of those that have just not really warmed my cockles, right? And again, I can't really put my finger on why not. They just haven't. I think the survival thing is because realistically it's all about crafting, and in terms of crafting, I know that's not entirely practical, right? The inner part of me goes, well, yeah, that's not going to work, and it just kind of I don't know, it just kind of wears off very quickly. As I say, it's not that I hate them, because that's not the case. I just get bored. It doesn't seem to matter what the scenario is. Realistically, they're all the same. So yeah, I think it's because every single one is the same. It's the same progression, the exact same progression. I think the only reason I kind of got on better with Pal World is because you could automate your base with the little pals. And as a result of that, then, it added, you had to capture things to add to your base, to automate your base. You had to have the right types, and then you had to manage them. So it was almost like building a slave force, because realistically you were, right? Well, and this is true with many games, to be honest. Many games have, yes, it's different graphics, but whether you're in space, whether you're in, or whatever, if all you have to do... Who the fuck is that? Who the hell's that? I've got a text from a number that I've had a text from before. But I've got no clue who it is. No! I mean... hang on, don't want to do that. So if I cover up the number, right, it says, machine's doing a really slow update, and I've gone okay, and then, today must be your birthday. Well, actually, it's not my birthday today. Anyway. Well, I just don't know who it is. I mean, it's going to be someone from work. And the fact that they know about Silverstone and the correlation to my birthday, because pretty much it is the nearest Sunday to my birthday. So it always seems to work out to be the nearest Sunday to my birthday. So with that in mind, it does limit who it can be. I can't think who it could be. I mean, I did used to go to the Formula One for my birthday. Right? Almost from the day I started there. But I haven't been for a number of years now. Just because it's so stupidly expensive. As an example, to go and watch the Formula One, that is obviously on today, which I wasn't watching either. Oops. If I wanted to go and sit on a patch of concrete where you have to provide your own chair, you don't get a chair number, you have to bun fights, you have to be there at like, you will be there for dawn rising over Silverstone, right? So you have, and bear in mind the race usually starts at about 1, so, you know, let's not be pretending you haven't been there for a number of hours, usually 8 by the time the race starts, right? It's so for literally just for the right to put a chair on a lump of concrete for today, it's somewhere nearly £300. It's a ridiculous amount of money. Now, one of the amusing parts to that is that many years ago, when it was cheap, it's just not worth it because that's per person, right? So it's, you know, a lot of money, a lot of getting up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, plus, right? And then of course you've got to pay the £10 for yesterday, you know, 3 weeks ago's bread roll with a lump of plastic cheese and maybe a week old dead burger in it, right? And you know, it's, you know, it is captive audience money after all. So there is a lot of it that you do sit there going, it's an expensive day out. And of course, when you're there, you can only see the track in front of you. Now, this isn't always a bad bit, and the bit of concrete we happen to like did give us quite a decent view. But of course, we were not alone in wanting the patch concrete. So you find yourself sitting there going, I don't mind, you know, it's a fun day, but it's not worth that much of a fun day, which is part of the reason we don't go. I think, to be honest, the last time I went was the year Trev and I split up. Because it's not exactly a great burger. It is just a sad, you know, yeah, it's more likely for the day. But it is one of those things is that the one sad burger, yeah, it's one sad burger is more than I spend, you know, kind of on most days, you know. It's kind of like, and I could eat about 5 of them to feel full, you know. It is difficult. It is very difficult. And it's not a reflection on them because those are the going rate for stuff at events. But when you've paid 300 quid to sit on a patch of concrete and you don't even get a frigging chair with it, you've got to provide your own. And there's no shelter, so if it rains you get wet, as we did, and we got hypothermia one year, because it was really cold and wet, or we get burnt, because, well, there's no shade, because, well, there's no cover. There is a little bit of you that kind of goes, I'm paying a lot to sit at a racetrack that I get a better view at home. Plus, I get to eat my own food. I don't have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I can get up at 12:30 and watch it, you know. Actually, I think race starts at 2. So I could get up at 1:30, miss the reruns of practice for yesterday, and just be up in time for the race. So the race is probably still going. No lines at the loo. The fact that the loo will almost certainly flush Whereas loos, you know, like all event toilets, because there is a Friday and Saturday option, excuse me, the toilets have already potentially taken a severe beating, and they don't exactly tend to them. So yeah, I could do better, you know. Apparently it's raining like arse, so it's another wet race. My mate Pete's gonna nag the crap out of me if I don't watch it. Hang on. Actually, I don't know whether I can watch it. I might be able to. Hang on, I might be able to watch it. It's Formula 1 on BBC. Wooden is. No, I'm pretty sure I can listen. Right, there you go. Now I'm listening to it, so. I've done plenty of pins, so now we can scale forward on the pin. To be honest, I have no idea who half the drivers are. I really don't watch this enough. Apparently it's raining enough that they have got problems with visibility in their visors because the water's getting in. What a shame. Welcome to England. This is what we get over here. As I said, one year we got hypothermia and most years we burnt, so you know. Out the safety cars coming out, boring. Well, funny you should say that. My garden's very good at that. I swear I've got Chernobyl grass or something, because everybody else, you know, does a handful of grass trims and then their grass stops growing for the summer. Mine doesn't. Mine keeps going, and should there be rain, it will revel in it. So, you know, the fact that we've had a sprinkling of rain does mean that my grass will grow this week, and there's bugger all I can do to stop it. Because one of my friends always used to laugh at me when I said, when I would be doing the, oh, I've got to cut the grass this week, and they'd go, didn't you do it on Wednesday? And it'd be like, yeah, but it's grown. It's grown like this much. And she, no, you can't have done it right. Well, darling, I went over it and it was short. Now it's not. So whatever it was, you know, my grass has now grown. I'm sorry, you know. I cannot warp existence to suit the fact that you don't want to believe my grass has grown. Just said they don't know when it's going to tip down with rain. They have the most accurate weather stuff because they are monitoring all around and they see it coming. Yeah, that's kind of where we are. You know, if you don't cut it at least once a week, you'd be going out there with machetes and rifles looking for you know, tigers and bears. It's. I wonder why they don't have the weather systems they used to for the teams then. Let me text Pete, hang on. Yeah. It's basically, if it rains shitload on Monday, by the time you're in a position to do anything about it, you need, you know, like jungle hatchets to get through the thing. Yeah. That's always the worst one, when it's so wet you can't cut it, but that it's growing like 3 miles high and there's nothing you can do. And why is it there is, as you say, it's always a back corner, one of the back corners. You know, your entire garden's like this, and then in one corner, and so it's like this half pond area that starts trying to form. Yeah. So I'm listening to the Formula One and it's, let's cut to Wimbledon. No, if I wanted to listen to fucking Wimbledon, I'd have signed up for Wimbledon, you know? Or maybe it didn't cut to Wimbledon, because I can still hear Formula One. I hear engines. They're just not talking now, so obviously they're watching Wimbledon. Why not? Yes. Oh dear, did someone lose at Wimbledon? What a shame. I'm not into tennis. I'm not against tennis. I quite like playing it. I don't want to watch it on television. Oh dear, someone's crashed. What a shame. Actually, I wouldn't mind being able to see this if I could actually see it. Hang on. No, it's only on BBC Radio. Hang on. Let's see if it's on Sky. Hang on. It's on Channel 4. It is a bit wet. It is quite a lot wet, actually. Jesus. I'm not surprised he crashed. I mean, if you looked at the road, which obviously I can't show you very easily, if you looked at the road, it just looks wet. It doesn't look like, you know, Armageddon level downpour of rain. But of course, because of the size of their tyres and the aerodynamicness of the Formula One car, it kicks up Well, if you were to look out your window and see sunshine and that level of rain on the road, you would not think twice about driving around. But you're not trying to do 200 mile an hour in bald tyres. Now, they've put on the wet weather tyres, I believe, which is still distinctly less tread than you or I would have on any of our tyres. Well, exactly. We're driving a heck of a lot slower than that, even if you're heading down the freeway. So, I mean, obviously on the British motorway, we do 70, so we're doing a third of that speed generally, you know. So it is kind of interesting because looking at that road, it just looks damp. There's a couple of little, and I do mean little, I'm talking like, you know, little puddles at some of the corners. But frankly, it's just, it looks like, you know, when it's wet but there's no water left, it's just changed the colour. It kind of looks like that, right? So there's no obvious standing water. It's not like the whole track is shiny, none of that. But when you watch these cars drive down, they kick it up like one of those high-speed motorboats where you see like the boat and then the spray of water go up behind them. That's what these guys drive behind. But of course, they're trying to drive right up the arse of the previous driver. So they're straight in the arse of that spray. And obviously, that level of water, the rooster tail, yep. And it is one of those things is that you do kind of sit there going, it is not pleasurable to drive in, you know, even at our speeds, let alone their speeds. And I've never forgotten one of the famous bits where it's, oh, it's not that wet. This is from one of the drivers. Yeah, it's not that wet. It's perfectly safe, as he went straight on and ploughed into a wall behind the safety car. Now, I need to point out, in case you don't know, under Formula One, the safety car is a road legal high-end car, but they're generally driving around at 100 odd mile an hour at top speed, which of course is almost stalling for the Formula One car. So it is kind of, oh, there's a bit come off there. Okay, let's watch this. I haven't watched Formula One in a long time. It used to be, I used to be like an avid get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch them all kind of level of fan. Now I haven't seen it for... Yeah, I haven't. And I can't quite place why I haven't. It's a bit like the survival game, I think. You know, it's not that I hate it. I just find other things to do instead, you know. Kind of glad I'm not there looking at the weather though, because, as I said, you know, nowhere to hide. So you've got to take like brollies and wet weather gear and like bikinis and frog suits and snorkel, and yeah, it's just like there are just too many layers, you know. Yeah, I haven't watched in years, but a wet weather race is always a bit more interesting because, and I'm not going to downplay the quality of the drivers, right? Silverstone, yeah, Silverstone, the British Grand Prix, and as I said, the British Grand Prix is always my birthday weekend. In fact, I don't think in 30 years it hasn't been. Yeah, why not? Go for it. Have it on. You, like me, won't have the faintest clue who any of these idiots are. Well, there are a few favourite names in there, but they're kind of further down the tree. But to be honest, I can tell you when you're there, it's really hard to spot who's who, because obviously it is one of the lesser talked about things when you watch it on TV. But how you tell them apart is if you see, obviously, say a McLaren, there are two McLarens out there, you know this, but one has one colour on its tail in a tiny little box about this big, and the other has a slightly different colour, and one denotes the first one denotes the second one. Oh! Someone's gone... Oh, Pete, you'll be happy. My friend Pete clearly doesn't like Verstappen. I mean, he didn't like Hamilton much either, so, you know, to be fair. He's written... I wrote, are you happy? And he wrote, singing. I must admit, there was one race where it stopped for about 3 hours due to rain, and Button was in second place, and I think it was Alonso in first, right? And I was getting, Hamilton, it must have been Hamilton. Hamilton was in first. And I was like, come on, you're so close, you're catching him up. And Hamilton fucked it up. I have never shouted and danced around my living room so much, because it was like 6 hours after the start of the race, because we'd had a couple of stops here and a bit there and lots of safety car, and I have never reacted quite so hard. But yeah, and Button took first place. It was great. Luffield's where we used to sit, by the way. Just so you know, if Verstappen goes off and ploughs into a wall, or someone shunts him up the butt or something, and his car kind of falls apart, my friend Pete will be the happiest dude alive. So, if you wish to push any of your hopes and dreams into, hoping that if it happens to anyone, it happens to him, because we don't wish ill on the actual driver, mostly. But, you don't actually wish ill on the driver, because, stuff at that speed hurts, right? But at the same time, if their car could fall apart and their engine blow up or something, well up for that. Major punctures just after you've passed all the pit lanes, so you've got to do an entire lap at like 5 miles an hour. We're definitely up for some of that, you know. This is what we're after. So it's nice to see Hamilton's not winning them all. That's David Coulthard speaking, so for us anyway, or for me at least. I recognise that voice. But you see, the moment they cut to anything like the driver's view, you see what I mean. You can see what I mean though. The track just looks damp. It doesn't look particularly wet until you're in a car, and then you kind of go, that's like, I mean, obviously there's water in the air a lot because they're kicking it up, but it's dry. It's drying out. Because obviously I don't know what you get to see and who's commentating on yours, etc. So, chances are you're roughly watching the same thing I am, in the same views with the same things, because they don't tend to do that much difference. Might need more drink in a minute. Might actually crack open a beer, and that'd be quite scary for everybody. My first alcoholic drink of the year, I might actually do that. Yeah, he did slow down a lot. I didn't see him brake really hard, I'm sorry. I saw him slow down, but that could be easing off, not slow, you know, braking, if you know what I mean. Because, of course, at those speeds, you know, it's... when you stop pushing hard, you slow down, you know. bloody hell, harsh penalties for today. But, you know, when it's your job to drive at 200 mile an hour in the wet, right, as the worst condition, you need to be sensible and pick your battles and do it right. And it's not like you don't know what the rules are. Jesus, I wouldn't want to drive in this though. Because of course they don't get windscreen wipers like we do either. So I wonder if they've put that hydrophobic stuff on it to try and help with the visors and the windshield thing, because of course they've now got kind of like windshield things to help protect them, which has all come in since I stopped watching. But see, if you look at most of it, I mean, the actual track itself doesn't look particularly wet. I mean, there are a few spots where people haven't been and there's a few puddles, but you know, it's drying out in places, for goodness sake, you know. But they definitely had some water, can't argue that. Can't argue they've had some water. Yeah, there are definitely drier bits. They're going to start getting into the problem where the wet weather tyres are going to overheat and be a problem. Because, yeah, it's not like you instantly forget all of the things of Formula One, even though I probably haven't watched it in 15 years. Really? It's going to be close to that. Hamilton's doing well. I'm not a Hamilton fan particularly, but then to be honest, I don't know who I would support in a race these days. I really don't. I mean, some people follow teams, some people follow people. I'm usually more of a person. So I follow a driver irrelevant of which team they're going for. So, you know, Button was one of mine. Nigel Mansell was one of mine. Damon Hill, because obviously they're all British. But I never really... I mean, my dad was into Hamilton. Excuse me. To towards my dad. I don't know who. I quite like Mark Webber. I know he's Australian, but it was close. You know, we could, you know, we could allow Mark Webber. Oh. Let me quickly ask Google. Hang on. So, out of the pack, we've got George Russell, who's in 7th, and Oliver Bearman, who is not on the list. Oh no, there he is, number 13. Okay. But I have no idea what they're like as people or drivers or anything, because blood if I've been watching. Right. Some of these on a stick. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, that doesn't look right. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many laps there are to go. Oh, 30. Oh, I've got 20. Okay. So, where's my weather? Yeah! The problem, of course, is I'm actually looking at my lace and only occasionally looking over, so... where's my weather app? Weather. Helps that I know where Silverstone is, obviously. Radar. Well, I'd have to say, it looks like it should rain again. I would say it's likely to rain again. So just as a clue, that's where Silverstone is in Towcester. That's where the rain is. So either it's just gone underneath them, or that's what they had. Yeah, it's going away from them. That's a shame. Yeah, it does look like they probably won't get any more rain from my weather app, but then I don't have the stuff they do, because they literally do have. They used to be able to literally get it to the second as to when it was going to rain, but maybe they've stopped them having that because they considered it too much of a advantage. Well, a potential podium position. This lot are going nuts because he's just moved up to third, right? And I'm sorry, but you've got 20 laps to go. A heck of a lot can happen in 20 laps. No, that's right. Didn't look right for a minute. fair enough. Little Woofers needs to do his thing. Yep. It's interesting that this has got 4. It's like what's missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? You're not 3 short. You are. That's why. 4, 5, 6, 7. Hello, Rory. Hello. Hello, little man. Thanks, nice for little dogs. Hello. Hello. I'm being double dogged, am I? Okay. Hey, pups. Oh, Amy's off. Oh, puppies. I'm being puppied. Hello, puppies. Hello. Oh, she's got hair flumps. I hear hair flumps. I do. I recognise that crackling anywhere. Yes. I'll borrow him a second. This is Hair Flump. Hair Flump has crackling stuff in his ears. Come on, he's yours. Hello, Rory. You're sitting on my lap like a good boy. You are. Hello. Yes, I know you like these dog treats. Yes, I do. There you go. Chompty chomp chomp chomp. No, Amy, get off, sweetheart. That was nearly dangerous. You nearly had that on the floor, didn't you? How have you managed to walk that? There you go. Oh, little one. Drama. She is. She's creating drama. Oh. Anyway, puppies. I'm busy. I am busy. No, Amy, no, for goodness sake, dog. Little girl, you're being annoying. Come on, lie me down. You sit there. You lie down there too. Let's get back to doing some of this. Because that's what we came to do. It's what I'm here for. I'm not here for hugging a dog. This is not a hug the dog stream. No. There's some hard spots here, and I don't know why. Let's put pins in. Come on, let's find out if Hamilton picked the wrong tyres or not. That looked like something went wrong. Actually, synchronised going off for the half steam. Really? Those 20 laps went quick, didn't they? See, the rack track's dry now. Yeah, just watch him drive into the grandstand. Yay for Hulkenberg. Go Hulkenberg. Oh, Lando Norris is British. Oh, so a British dude won the British Grand Prix. Oh, I'm not surprised people are happy then. It's funny because when I asked Google who are the current F1 British drivers, oh, it does say Norris is one of 4, but it only then highlighted 3 people, so I only read the 3 people. Okay, so British dude won the British Grand Prix. That always cheers the Brits up. We're always good for that. Everyone likes to win the home race. poor guy who finished third has been in Formula One for a really long time. And guy who finished third, as I say, he's been in it a long time. So everyone's really happy for him. You are not supposed to touch the driver before he's been weighed, but yeah. So the number two who got into trouble and had to pay a penalty for erratic driving behind the pace car in the wet is hopping mad, not too surprisingly. Jesus, how young are you? Sorry, he's going. The guy who's just finished first going, oh, I grew up watching you, because he's talking to Button. And it's like, I kind of stopped watching when Button was winning, just after Button stopped winning. I mean, come on. How old are you? Because Button stopped. I think I stopped watching when Button stopped driving, so for him to be more growing up watching that. Right, so I need a quick wee because I've been drinking, and I also need to fill up my drink, so I shall be right back. And we're back. So yes. Excuse you, dog, little miss. Yes, I do care, and I love you with all my soul, but you're still annoying. Yes, yes, I know. Little puppy. Oh, you little puppies. You is little puppy. Not so much of a puppy, you're 5. I can't believe you are 5. And I will not be upstanding for the national anthem because I'm sitting down. Of course, technically it's God Save the King now, isn't it? You know what, I don't think I've actually heard it since we've changed monarchy. Sorry, did they just say that that was made out of Lego? I'm sure they just said that his thing was made out of Lego. It's the end of watching the Formula One, I think. There we go. Time to do something else. Time to watch something else. Anything else, frankly. That was worth watching. Say I haven't watched in a very long time. No, I didn't get a beer after all that, by the way. Right. Trying to find something else. Go back to watching listening, watching Doctor Who, and that's relevant. That's what I was doing a minute ago. Something's not right. That's right, it just doesn't sit right for some reason. Oh. Right, that's as far as you're going until we turn the corner. Eat money, money, money. Oh. Been sitting on my foot again. Kids! Hang on, doorbell. So I've got a feeling I'm not supposed to open this yet, but I'm gonna. Yeah, this is a shouldn't really have opened it yet one. Never mind. It's not like there's a note or anything with it after all. I wonder who that's from. Gonna guess Trev. So I'm gonna put that back in the box. Well, the packet and pretend. See if someone confesses. Assume it's Trev. Right. Right. Now hang on. Somewhere I've missed one on the inside, I think. I'm gonna fudge it. There we go. Right. Hang on. The table's a little bit off since the dog sat on it. That's a bit much, actually. Right. This doesn't work out either. Why does this not add up? I suppose it can. And that goes in there. That gives us these two. And these two. Didn't enjoy making that one as much. Not aided by the fact that I don't like making the diamond on the outside. It's not, it feels wrong. It feels very wrong. There you go. I think time to take a picture. Right. There we go. Right. So on that note, we've done basically 3 hours. We've managed to add quite a bit. We've released a little bit of the lace at the back, so we've done pretty well today. Thank you for joining me while watching the Formula 1. Go Britain. It's very rare that we win at some of our own sports. Rare that we win anything, frankly. But we won. Go us. I shall be back tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is Monday. I don't have to work tomorrow. Huzzah. So I have no idea when I'll be on tomorrow. I'm leaving the usual spot in, but at the same time, don't actually know. It could be an earlier spot, it could be a later spot. So it could be I start at 5 and go for it, or it could be I wait till 7 and do the normal weekday thing, which has some point to it after all, because I'll have to do it again on Wednesday. So anyway, on that note, as I said, thank you for coming along. Hope you enjoyed it, and I shall speak to you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.